Let's finally get this over with. I'm trying
It's
out
time to move
Priest
on.
team this time. It's not gonna work. Fortunately, though, I don't need to fight anyone.
Can we play Banker next time?
I think. Since this is the stupid Archon quest. Where you contribute absolutely nothing of value. And nothing is ever required from you apart from walking from the next place to the other. And then watching people talk. Paimon is even so nice as to do most of the talking for us. I'll be very cynical here. Right now and say this. In a gacha game, it's their story. The story of a gacha game serves a very, very different purpose than a story in like a normal video game. That's a one-time purchase thing, or you know, any other form of media that tells stories. Very cynical here, but it is technically true in some fashion. But stories in gacha games are used as advertising. That's their only purpose. A story is there to act as advertising. You play a gacha game, you're playing an advertisement to tell you to spend money in the advertisement that you are currently participating in. And I'll be honest here, the only character that they really did a good job advertising in this Archon quest was frickin'
Navia!
Furina. Because everyone else was kind of just boring. Navia just cries a lot. The gun lady was literally fucking boring as all hell. Risley, I mean, there was that one animation that was cool, but a cool freaking eye candy thingy only does so much. Compare it to Sumeru, I think all the characters there did a good job showing off their personalities and making you care for them. There's Scaramouche's entire character arc. There's Dihya, of course. I was looking forward to getting her until she actually did came out and everyone was just disappointed. Nilou, I liked Nilou. I mean, I cried. Everyone knows that. Although that mostly has to do with Dunyar than it does Nilou. Candice, well, she was boring, but she's a 4-star anyway. They have less reason to advertise those characters.
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
As for my overall
Just having
thoughts,
a look around.
I mean, it's still technically better than the
I'm here to
Inazuma
update
Archon
myself on how
quest.
things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is
I
helping
suppose
with
in
our
terms
work.
of my favorite, I don't know.
Our
I
residents
kinda
are
think
hard
they're
at
all
work as well.
equally mid.
Thanks to
with
everyone,
Inazuma
work is
being the
progressing
worst.
nicely. We've
I guess
lost
it
a
would
lot of
be a
people,
tie between
but
Liyue and
we're moving
Sumeru,
forward.
but only
That
by
will
a
have to be
margin.
enough.
Only by small
Hello,
margins,
Miss
because
Charlotte.
again,
I'm a
they're
big
all
fan of
very
yours.
mid to me.
I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to...
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Claran,
It'll
that's
be
her
another
name.
hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarant?
In contrast,
Well,
the limited
her
event
reputation's greatly
characters
risen after that whole duel
limited
business
event
with Miss Farina.
thingy that
So
happened
she's
just
here
a
in
while ago
Poisson to
didn't
wait out the
job
heat.
advertising.
All right,
With a
all
new
right.
character featured
She
there.
really came here to help me out.
Kind of.
There's
with an
too much to
asterisk.
consider in the reconstruction of
I don't
Poisson.
know, I didn't find the event
The
all that
Spina has need of
interesting.
more decision makers.
I kept comparing
Wait just a
it
moment. Do you mind
to
me asking a
Beyond
few
Discards
questions?
from Path to
You know,
Nowhere,
about how
which is
you
just
felt before the
way
duel.
better.
About what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up and smile.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows?
Wow, you really do have that
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything in...
Well, I suppose there are the character quests. I'm pretty sure Furina has one. Perhaps I'll do hers first. I was originally planning on doing Navia's first. Ugh, we're going back here. I don't wanna. Going back to the topic of Path to Nowhere, again, completely being cynical, but the story there, I already said, the story there is paced good, and it also does a good job doing the cynical thing I say a gacha game story is supposed to do, and that's advertising new characters. I had no desire to pull Darren at all. I only wanted Owo, but after doing the event and seeing the relation of Owo, the super wholesome and nice relationship Darren and Owo have, I wanted to pull Darren as well and complete, because it did feel right for Owo to not be with Darren, and I wanted to see the interrogation. It is kind of strange that interrogations are only available when you already have the character you want. If the purpose is supposed to be for advertising, then
Wow,
what's
guess
the
we're here
point of
again,
doing
huh?
it that way?
There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
It's real strange. The only game
Looks
I
like
know
you've
that
been
does
missing
that.
us.
Gacha game, or rather, more accurately.
Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
It's like nothing ever happened.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all
The
the
ending
photos we
felt
need.
really, really rushed.
Miss
The whole
Charlotte,
flooding thing literally
do these
lasted for
pictures
like
really need to be published on the
cutscene.
cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier, hmm?
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this
No, I just... This is my...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Ha! Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Ah, we've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this nude...
Ah, Sigewinne.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head... Sure. Come on, Miss Sigewinne. Over this way. Let's...
Brighter
sure.
spot. This place is
do
not
I
very
have to smile?
photogenic.
So, how have things been at the fortress?
If this were real life and we were using proper cameras, you'd be hard pressed to find a good photo
Same old,
place
same old,
here,
as you can see.
unless you
Fontaine's undergone
do a
some
flash.
changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad
there's
too
no
much
sunlight
attention, I
and off
think.
the lighting seems
That's why I
pretty
decided to let the
dark.
interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you?
What change
Yeah,
can
what
there
about-
be?
What about
The
Child?
fortress
He
will
did
keep chugging
technically
along, and
attempt
so
to
will my
escape.
duties.
The other-
As to
the-
what Miss
the buddies
Verena's
are
departure
just
will mean for the nation, and if our
supporters.
laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Well,
Thanks for
he
your
was
cooperation.
technically.
Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next...
There'll be a next time?
Why wasn't he
Maybe.
declared
Who
guilty?
knows?
There was
I
no
might write a
reason
story
for
about
that.
the underwater factory next time.
That's still a mystery.
All right. Last stop, the docks.
Why is there a yellow circle? Covering off the fortress. I don't have anything left to do there, at least for the main quest. We can finally talk to Kurina for realsies. Although with everything we learned so far, we already know it's not gonna lead into anything useful relating to our brother. It's just off to that land for them. Or something crazy happens again. I guess I'll try to at least get C6. after giving it a little bit more try, I'm probably just gonna go back to using nothing but Geo and Dendro, which are the only two good ones. I use Electro occasionally, I suppose, when the mood strikes.
Yeah.
Never a Nemo though, and I don't think I'll ever be picking Hydro either.
I'm in Seasam! They really are here! How did you know?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing the...
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
What were those pockets supposed to do anyway?
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry. Trick a friend?
It's
I wonder which
a
of my
bag of
friends would
holding.
fall for that. You could just make a friend like Fremine
So
here.
it's supposed to
Isn't
be
that
used
right,
after
Fremine?
the flood already happened. That's a bit stupid.
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
They just said
To be
during
honest,
the
that
beginning
sounds
that
pretty
it's supposed to
Could I
help
have your
shield
contact,
them from the
please?
water or something.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to
And there
assist in
was
our
a
magic
Fremine
shows.
event, but that didn't do a good job
Yes,
advertising.
I was planning
To
to
be fair,
first
though,
introduce
the
Per as an
event was gonna
assistant,
give it
and
to
later
you for,
Fremine
give
himself.
him to you for free.
In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with a...
Lynette, could you come over?
Got it.
Why not Lenny too?
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had... Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contribution.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's Gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
What the fuck?
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit...
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a
They really don't
significant
need
change
the
of
notes
heart
anymore
regarding
anyway.
the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette
And
knows about?
obviously, we already knew
I
this would
suspect you'll
happen.
have to ask him about that
It's
yourself.
happened 4 times already.
Yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the fortress of Meripede.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? But back to the topic. The gnosis was given...
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think...
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please,
Are you going to take the gnosis?
that is our duty as harbingers. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is... As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
That's lame. I thought we were gonna give it back to him personally.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about...
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't
Arlecchino is
even
also
dare to
very
take a
boring.
picture.
I don't know
Thankfully,
anyone
I've
who
already
would
wrapped
pull
up
for
all
her
my
after
pre-scheduled
seeing how
interviews.
she did
Thank
things
you
here.
all. This will be more than enough for me to write about.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
Our pockets are already
To move
magical.
things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met. I guess this must be life. We will all fall. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see what Neverlette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
The entrance. By the way, I'm not breaking my promise. Once the Archon quest ends, that's gonna be it for Genshin videos. Again, unless something real crazy happens and I really do just want to go back to recording myself playing this. I'm done. Genshin's gameplay is very toxic. And it's made me do something very toxic. I no longer care about this game. If it dies and gets forgotten, I think it should be that way. This game has nothing worth remembering for.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neverlet! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to... In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the...
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you. All right, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved?
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged... but Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Okay.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking,
It really was
Focalor
just no
finally
fucking
managed to
art.
fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
I really
Ask
don't
away.
wanna.
I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring Narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real hang on a second. Paimon said back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Yeah,
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians would often
natural.
come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like this ritual won't be of any further.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something.
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power.
Yeah.
As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations. Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
So it was him we get to talk to in the end
Leslie
instead
said
of Farina.
Farina's already
That's
left.
lame.
What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
It should have
Looks
always
like you're
been
still
like that from
considering
the very
stuff from the
beginning.
perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of... As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay.
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Of
A
course.
nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame.
Vexations.
There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Hooray.
Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about the note. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude we guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Bitch, noses are useless. Give it to us.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as... Whoa!
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something very similar to a god. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your
Remains? I've never...
According to your parlance,
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just...
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young. And I have never returned to the surface since. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense. Which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to keep... Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he...
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to.
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps if you're interested, though, I could ask him.
Next time. You believe...
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own.
Awkward. I was literally teleported there. Yeah, Genshin runs on spaghetti code. Unity is great, but a powerful sword is nothing when used in the hands of a novice.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not.
The remains of the third so that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's...
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that...
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave...
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at... I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not that means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third Descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
I mean, I have access to 5 elements.
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision! That does... No, let's not think about this stuff right now. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third Descender and all? That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck.
A topic can't be bad luck. It can't even be good luck.
Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalors' efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human.
And the Bible
Was that
all in
really
one.
what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
That's lame. So our only confirmation for how Harina's doing didn't come until just now in this event, where we get to see her house. Or actually, I got a shield now. How does it look? I don't know what I was expecting. The guide should just tell me about useless shit now. Yep. A lot of story quests. Yep, she has a thingy. Alright. I don't want to do Brasley. I know it means I'm gonna be in the fortress if I do that. I will do it one day. Anyway, I want to try something. Hell yeah.